I'm reading today from Answer to Job by C.G. Jung, paragraph 567. These words clearly show that Job, in spite of his doubt as to whether man can be just before God, still finds it difficult to relinquish the idea of meeting God on the basis of justice and therefore of morality. Because, in spite of everything, he cannot give up his faith in divine justice. It is not easy for him to accept the knowledge that divine arbitrariness breaks the law. On the other hand, he has to admit that no one except Yahweh himself is doing him injustice and violence. He cannot deny that he is up against a God who does not care a rap for any moral opinion and does not recognize any form of ethics as binding. This is perhaps the greatest thing about Job, that, faced with this difficulty, he does not doubt the unity of God. He clearly sees that God is at odds with himself, so totally at odds that he, Job, is quite certain of finding in God a helper and an advocate against God. As certain as he is of the evil in Yahweh, he is equally certain of the good. In a human being who renders us evil, we cannot expect at the same time to find a helper. But Yahweh is not a human being. He is both a persecutor and a helper in one, and the one aspect is as real as the other. Yahweh is not split, but is an antinomy, a totality of inner opposites. And this is the indispensable condition for his tremendous dynamism, his omniscience, and omnipotence. Because of this knowledge, Job holds on to his intention of defending his ways to his face, i.e., of making his point of view clear to him, since notwithstanding his wrath, Yahweh is also man's advocate against himself when man puts forth his complaint. This paragraph is particularly significant because it talks about the dynamism in the opposites. Permeating all of Dr. Jung's work is the idea of opposites and the idea that psychic energy flows between the opposites, that the universe is in balance. And here, he introduces the idea that God himself is an antinomy, that is, a totality of inner opposites. And he explains that this is the source of God's dynamism, his omniscience, and his omnipotence. Of course, this is a burr under the saddle for most Christian theologians because for the last 2,000 years, they have been selling a God that is only a good God. And they've been referring the bad side of God to the devil. However, Dr. Jung's point throughout his later work is that Christ is the right hand of God, while the devil is the left hand of God. If human beings can start to understand that idea with respect to their own religion, that may make a big difference in the way we think about one another, not only in the Christian church, but in all other religions.